Alright, so let's take you guys through the ropes of who we are, what this is. My name's Christian Scully. If anyone sees me in public, you can just call me Scully. I'm a last name guy. You call me Christian, that's fine, but I'm definitely not a Chris, alright? So let's just get that out of the way soon. You can call me Skull. This is my boy Myles, and this is Off the Dome Pod. And you guys are here to hear all of our minute or, ample sports opinions, whatever it may be. They are our opinions at the end of the day, though. So, right or wrong, we're just here to give you guys what we think. And if you are so lucky to be able to listen, then we appreciate it. But yeah, so a little bit about us, just to get it started, since this is our first episode. Like I said, I'm Christian, that's Myles. We had the opportunity to meet each other at James Madison University in Harrisonburg, Virginia. I'm actually originally from New Jersey. Myles is from here in Virginia. I was a freshman roommate of Myles. Not roommate, I guess. We were hallmates, right? You lived upstairs or whatever?
Yeah.
And we didn't really know each other too well when we first got into the dorm or whatever, but one thing led to it next, and we ended up being roommates sophomore year. That was definitely a little bit, it was fun to room with this kid, but it was definitely a little rough around the edges at times. But yeah, we both love sports. I'm a big New York supporter, like Giants, Yankees, Knicks, unfortunately. Except for the Yankees, I guess. But everyone else, we're on a little bit of a downswing here in terms of New York. Myles, if you want to talk about your sports fandom a little bit.
Yeah, it's a little weird. So what's up, everyone? Myles here. It's a little weird. Growing up, I got a Drew Bledsoe autograph when he was the quarterback on the Patriots. So right when I was about 2 years old, so my first foray into the sports world led me to be a Boston sports fan. So go Pats, go Celtics, go Sox, right? Go Bruins. With that said, as I started to understand football in my early ages of life, obviously Tom Brady, the GOAT, took over for Drew Bledsoe before I really started watching. So I kind of got lucky, if you will, but now it's kind of shitty. Big time Oklahoma football supporter as well. That was my dream school. Sorry to all the JMU heads, but if I had my way growing up, I would not have known you all. But look where we are, though, so it's awesome that it worked out the way it did.
Yeah, no, so we honestly, like I said, we have a lot of different opinions on sports, and we have two different, big city fan groups that we are a part of. So we just hope that we can, spitball some stuff for you guys. If you like it, great. If not, sorry. But whatever. But, yeah, we'll just jump right into it here, I guess. So, yeah, that's us. But on to the real big, bad information that you all have been eagerly waiting these 3 minutes for. Well, we had to give you that spiel. Let's just jump right into a little bit more of a broader topic in sports. We definitely will get a little specific as we go down the line here. But I wanted to start it off with a little bit more of a broad topic that sort of has been something that's definitely come up a little bit more recently. It's definitely not too recent. I think this idea has been around for probably half a decade at this point, where people have really, really supported it. But analytics in sports, right? So my thing is, just precursor here, I OTD Skull on TikTok posted a TikTok earlier this week, and it went semi-viral. And basically what all the TikTok was, my face wasn't in it. That's why it probably went viral, because, you wouldn't really want to see this face too close to a camera too often. But I was basically just filming the end of the Eagles-Seahawks game when the Eagles went for two, right? So, precursor to the precursor, I sent a bet in before the game for David Moore to score a touchdown in a single-game parlay with the Seahawks to win by 6.5. So Seahawks were up by 14 with about 20 seconds left, and Carson Wentz throws a Hail Mary, and the Eagles score on that Hail Mary. Whatever, that kind of stuff happens, can't control it, that's fine. But what should have happened after that was Doug Peterson sends out the extra point unit, they get one more point, and then they're down 7. And you know what, they're not going to win the game at that point, they're down 7 with 10 seconds left, but by the grace of God, maybe they score a touchdown, tie it, go to overtime. But what happens with Doug Peterson's, whatever he was thinking about, dude sends out the 2-point unit, goes for 2, and gets the 2-pointer, of course, because either, number one, Vegas tampers with those lines, and they knew more people had the Seahawks covering that spread than not. So they told the Eagles, yeah, if you have a chance, go for that 2-point, get it under the line. If that happened, then there's no control.
I don't think it works like that, but I definitely think there's got to be some influence on, and aside from, the analytics point, I think there's got to be some influence on what Vegas wants as a liability standpoint.
Right.
Like, Vegas doesn't want to be out of $10 million or $20 million if they can help it.
No, and that's fine. All right, you know what? We can't really have the Vegas discussion other than on TikTok. To be honest with you, I'm not willing to have that discussion here because it's a bit of a tough one to have. So, like, that's the one side of it. All right, if Vegas was tampering, that is messed up. Fine. The second side of it, a lot of the comments that I got on that video were talking about how that was the right move from an analytics perspective because going for 2 in that situation gives you a chance to then win the game if you score a touchdown next time. Fine. All right, but let's say you don't get that 2-point conversion. Then you go out, the Eagles, say they actually score another touchdown, like with 10 seconds left, and then they have to go for 2 again if they hadn't gotten the first 2. Imagine the Eagles actually scoring, and then having to go for 2 and not getting that 2. What if they don't send it to overtime to that?
Yeah.
Like, it is ridiculous to me that you can make the analytics argument. There's a point where analytics makes sense, all right? Because you'll get to a point where it's like you should be doing these things because the percentages play out that way for you to be a better team.
Yeah.
But once you get to a certain point, it's gotten too far. Like, I love to use the Rockets as an example because I feel like the Houston Rockets, for anyone who's not familiar with the NBA, but you should be if you're watching this podcast. But the Rockets were all analytics. Daryl Morey came in and just planted his foot in analytics for the Rockets, and it did give them success because analytics are, to a point, they're going to be successful. You'll be successful with it. But it is at that point where you have to realize you got to sort of put analytics to the side and just play the game the way it's supposed to be played. Let it play out in a logical way for your team. Because I actually think one of the big problems with, let's say, the Rockets is they'd go for all their threes and layups and stuff. They'd get to the playoffs, and then they'd get ousted, right?
Yeah.
So the thing is, you got to let your stars play at that point. You can't really worry about analytics. It comes to a point where analytics has gotten it's just too far. All right, you got to play the sport at the end of the day, and I really just want to make sure people know that I'm not against analytics, but I'm against going all in for analytics. You know what I'm saying? I do think we have to let the sports play out their sport. It's not a pen and paper thing. This is sports, right?
I agree, but to some extent you have to think of the identity of trends and patterns and stuff before the analytics movement really came to fruition, right? So you always had trends, you always had patterns, you always had things that you looked at to give you a lean or an advantage, right, on the other team.
Yeah.
Now it's just thrown under this analytics umbrella, if you will, right? It's not like there's some, it's like a new terminology for it.
It's almost like a cult, dude.
Yeah.
I swear, the analytics group is like they're a cult following.
I mean, where and literally people have whole departments, whole teams, like in an organization for it's like actually crazy to think about.
Dude.
Like, imagine, like, growing up, you graduate, you go to college, graduate with a data analytics degree or whatever, you go to community college, whatever you do, right? Get a degree in that, and then you say, like, you know what, screw Google, I'm going to go work for frickin' the Minnesota Vikings or, like, the Houston. That's kind of sick, but I feel like there's a lot of pressure on you as well to perform. Like analytics, like, people don't realize that analytics can also be wrong, right? Like, if you think of a bet, right, you don't have a 50-50 chance, right? But you do. If I say that the Jets are going to go up against the Dolphins from '86, like, we can all rightfully assume that the Dolphins from '86 are going to thrash the New York Jets in 2020.
Dude, the analytics would probably say otherwise.
But who knows at this point? Analytics might tell you one thing, but, like, if you get where I'm going with this, you have a 50-50 chance. It either happens or it doesn't. And people, I think, always use analytics to, like, build their case. And I'm sure there's many times that analytics have, like, totally ruin a team's case as well, like making the wrong decision with analytics. They can be used both ways.
Right. No, and I definitely think there's a happy medium there. I mean, with anything in life, there seems like you should be able to find a happy medium, and we never do in our country. Like, let's be real about it. We won't get political here, but seriously, like, there's definitely a happy medium there, and I just think that it's been hard for teams to find that because of the cult following of analytics. Like, for example, as I said, I was a Giants fan, and a bit ago, Dave Gettleman, I think actually last offseason, was like, yeah, we got all these computer folks now working our analytics. And it's like, dude, that is like, if anything, I'd rather you have just not said that, because you're making yourself look stupid, honestly. Like, where have you been? I mean, there is an aspect of analytics that is like definitely useful, no doubt about it. Like, it's not all bad. I'm just saying it's gotten too far, but there's a happy medium there, and you definitely got to find it.
No, I agree. I think another thing that's interesting to point out with analytics, and I'm going to just go off the dome on this one because it's not something I had written down here or anything like that. I think one cool thing with analytics is just like the future of it as well. I mean, I think you've got teams that are going to say out with this stuff. Right, and maybe I'm just the crazy one here.
No, there will be, I'm sure.
There's going to be teams and coaches and GMs that are like, to hell with analytics. Like old school guys that are going to say, screw this stuff, right? And I think there already are teams that are like that, but just not as a big scale as we think, right? Like, you know, you might have one analytics guy versus 50. So, you know, I don't know how that looks going down the line. Like, a lot of people could say, you know, analytics, this is all a bunch of baloney, a bunch of BS, if you will. But, like, there's always going to be, for everyone saying that it's worth it, a guy that's saying that it's not. So I'm interested to see, like, as we really start progressing with new technology and all the, I mean, it's even, like, have you seen the commercials with, like, Deshaun Watson, like, talking about AWS? Like, they have, like, analytics commercials.
Fantasy football has that IBM Watson stuff now, bro. It's, like, unreal. They're analyzing your trades.
Boomer bust. Like, can we just talk about one thing, though? Like, backtracking to this, and before we move on, just backtracking to this idea of Deshaun Watson on a commercial, right? There's so many NFL stars on commercials, and they are all terrible actors.
Except Baker.
Yo, Baker is the GOAT. Boomer Sooner, if you hear me right now. Baker is the GOAT, bro. Baker, literally, it's just his personality. And people are like, you're doing too many commercials. It's like, bro, go get your bag, bro. Like, fuck what you heard. Go get that bag, dog.
I feel you on that. Honestly, I think Baker gets a little too much heat for the commercial stuff because, like, if I was him, I would do the same thing.
Why wouldn't you? Why would you not? I'm going to get my bag in any way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
and the team is, what, 8-3, 8-4. They're winning record, right? They're over
right
500,
not
definitely.
Him, but no, they're 8-3.
No, but like, quarterback is arguably the most important position on the field, and like, he's young. We'll see what he does.
We'll see what he does. But all right. Well, that's all I had to say about analytics. If you guys have any more opinions about it, like if you're watching, put them in the comments. The 4 people who are watching, one of you, I want you to comment. All right.
What if 2 people comment? So yeah, man, analytics in sports is like it's actually mind blowing. I wonder if analytics will ever really get into the college game. I mean, it's got to be to some extent. I
would say that I would argue that I would say the basis for analytics started in college. I mean, going for 2 is like
but I think the style of play is just drastically different.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I'll pivot though. Let's go to the college football universe, right? So we have a lot going on right now. We're about 2 weeks out of the college football playoff selection show on December 20th. We've got the top 25 teams, quote unquote, in America as ranked by the College Football Playoff Committee. I'm very eager to get your thoughts on some potential college football playoff scenarios. So I'm going to run you down the top 4, and I'm going to give you the outside looking in, and then let's go through some chaotic scenarios. It's 2020, so I feel like we have to explore
This is
chaos.
all you. This is Miles's forte, college football. So go
Love college football, man.
I'm supporting you here.
So here we got Alabama number 1, Notre Dame 2, 3 Clemson, 4 Ohio State, and then top 2 looking in Texas A&M and Florida. So let's break and let's explore those 6, right?
All right. We could just skip Bama. They're 1.
Yeah, we know Bama. Barring any crazy loss to LSU or Arkansas, Bama is in.
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Bama could go to the SEC championship, play Florida, and lose, and still be in. Right. So Bama's in. Notre Dame is likely in, barring any loss. Right. They should beat Syracuse this weekend.
They'll be good.
They play Clemson. If they lose, they're in still. Unless they lose like 55 to like 3.
I think even then, because
I don't know.
They'll have one loss, right?
Yeah, and that would be to Clemson.
Yeah, and
who they beat.
I would say that
but
they would be the 4 seed.
If they lose 55 to 3, like,
well, first of all they won't.
I don't think they will, but I'm saying that would be the only thing that takes Clemson out or Notre Dame out of the playoff. Because if they lose 55 to 3 to Clemson or some crazy score like that, we're not going to put them in a game with Bama, who's the best team in the nation, most complete team in the nation. Clemson, obviously, a lock if they beat Notre Dame in the ACC championship.
Yeah, real quick on that, I do think Clemson ends up as the 2. Like they'll hop over.
You think
Notre Dame.
if they win, yeah.
If
they lose, they're out.
If they lose, they're not going to make it. Yeah, but they're not losing. Bro. Trevor Lawrence got this.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see what happens. A lot of holes that Clemson has, but they looked really good versus Pitt last week, and I think they play.
Pitt is nothing though.
Pitt is nothing, but they've been rattling it off a few straight good wins. I mean, they put Virginia Tech to bed. They had a Pitt is not a bad team.
Yeah, but we don't have to talk too much about Pitt. But isn't Virginia Tech not having the best year either?
Yeah, they're just getting kind of shafted. Yeah. I think Clemson plays Tech today, actually. So
yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
Great. Or tomorrow, this weekend.
I think they're favored by 21. I would take that. Seriously.
I can't see Tech putting up more than 10 points. I took the under. I actually teased it to under 74.5.
I teased it?
I think, dude, I have it teased with... what do I have it teased with? I have it teased with the... I think I have it pulled up, actually. I have it teased with the BYU game. BYU minus 2.5.
All right. That's not my forte, bro.
Yeah. I mean, I think Clemson probably throws up a good 35 in the first half. Okay. Eases off the gas. Doesn't get anyone hurt. Scores another 14. So what are we looking at? 50-something. And then Virginia Tech puts up 10. 60, 65, that's 10 under.
I'll argue, though, that Clemson comes out flat and then they end up blowing them out at the end.
But I don't think they do. Why would you want to get anyone hurt?
No,
and advance the ACC championship.
The logic isn't there. I'm just, throwing it out there, bro.
Yeah. Okay, regardless, so Clemson pretty much a lock. Ohio State is the team that most people have questions about at that number 4 spot. And, again, this could be the team that quite literally doesn't play for a Big Ten championship. Yeah. And still could make the college football playoff. I think that's complete BS. Not a big fan of Ohio State. All-time moment for me, Baker Mayfield planting the Oklahoma flag.
So disrespectful.
In the middle of...
by Bosa. Nick Bosa wrecked him.
Okay, regardless, won the game.
I'm not a Baker supporter.
Yeah, whatever. Anyways, okay, so what are your thoughts on Ohio State at the number 4 spot?
Yeah, so the only thing about Ohio State that I'll say is they are not last year's defense. Their defense lost. You lose Chase Young and Okudah, literally 2 top 5 picks.
Yeah.
How are you going to recover from that? And that's what we've seen.
But the thing is schools like Alabama and Clemson now more so than anything have started to recover from that. I mean, you can argue that.
Well, let's see Clemson after Trevor Lawrence if they're the same. Let's see if they're the same. I don't think they will recruit the same.
They're going to recruit 5 stars.
But I don't know if they'll be
and they're going to develop
be as good as Ohio State.
There's going to be another guy. I mean, dude, I don't know. That's a bold.
See about, I guess, this kid Ulaleo or whatever.
DJ Ungulalele. Yeah, he's a 5-star. He threw for 400-something yards on Boston College and backed it up again on Notre Dame.
If anyone can pronounce his name right in the comments,
I think it's Ungulalele. DJ Ungulalele.
How would you pronounce it in the comments too?
You got like the little squiggly. Regardless, right? So I think Ohio State's got a lot of holes. I think they're the most vulnerable team that is in contention. Texas A&M, I don't even want to explore them because my thoughts are I really hope they lose to Auburn this weekend, but my thoughts are they don't belong. If they get in at the 4 spot, Alabama is going to blow them out by 4 or more touchdowns, again, like we've already seen earlier in the season. Florida, really good team, only one clear path to win, and you can argue that it's the easiest path out of anyone, right? You just have to win. It's going to be hard to play Bama. They really have no run defense.
Yeah, I like Florida though.
Kyle Trask, man, it's crazy the story he has. He hasn't.
What's his story? I'm not hip.
Really, Kyle Trask, right? So he went to high school with De'Aaron King. Actually, De'Aaron King was the starter.
Yeah.
Right. Obviously, he's having a great year at Miami. He transferred from Houston. Kyle Trask didn't start at all in high school. He backed up De'Aaron King. Backed up at Florida until junior year behind Felipe Franks, who's now at Arkansas. Felipe Franks got hurt. I hate that kid actually as well. Felipe, if you're listening to this, you've lost me a lot of money.
Felipe, bro, damn.
But anyways, no. All jokes aside, Kyle Trask's story is really cool, right? So he backed up Felipe Franks for 3 years. Felipe Franks got hurt. Kyle Trask came in and balled out, right? Literally never started the high school game, never started the college game, just balled out. Damn. And then now you could argue he's probably number one in the Heisman contention. I mean, he's the volume of his throws to his receivers. I think he's thrown to like 10 different receivers in the last 3 or 4 games. Kyle Pitts at Florida, the tight end, is just a beast.
No, I mean, yeah, honestly, like that's a good segue. I think if we can fit this in for this segment here, what is like the Heisman lookout? What is it looking like right now? What do we got? Like,
yeah. Heisman. I'm gonna pull up odds actually, but I would say that Kyle Trask and Mac Jones are the front runners.
I was gonna say Mac Jones, right?
Yeah, Mac Jones is having a good year too, but I mean it's all Jalen Waddle early on. Devontae Smith is
what's good
disgusting.
with Waddle? He got hurt, right?
ACL.
Yeah, I really want him to go. I think he's going to be like a Justin Jefferson type in the NFL.
Yeah,
I
mean
Waddle's nice. And then there's the other kid, right?
Devontae Smith, the other kid. Yeah, Waddle's better than him, but Devontae Smith is nuts.
Isn't there a third one on LSU?
Dude, receiver?
Yes, dude. I swear there's another receiver.
Terrence Marshall.
No,
Jr.
dude. I swear there's another one. Waddle
is on Alabama.
Right, and then there's an LSU wide receiver who's like nice.
Jamar Chase, but he opted out. Yeah, but Terrence
he'll be in the draft, right?
Yeah, but Terrence Marshall is also nice. He's also a first round pick.
Jamar Chase is better.
Yeah, I mean, dude, LSU's team last year had like the 2 offensive wide receiver of the year awards, and they were both different wide receivers.
Yeah, dude, and I honestly thought Justin Jefferson got slept on in the draft too. Like I thought he should have went. Yeah. He definitely should have went higher. And he looks like the best. I mean, it's arguable.
He's good. He's really good. I mean, my thoughts are obviously I like CeeDee Lamb a lot.
Yeah,
biased,
and he's been all right, but I think that he's been the best. What's his name, Jefferson?
Yeah. So look, so Mac Jones right now, November 30th, odds I'm seeing as the last I can find. Mac Jones went from plus 300 to plus 185, and Kyle Trask is minus 134 Heisman odds.
So I would rather stay away from Kyle Trask then, to be honest with you. Like that, I think that is a tough line. Well, I mean, if he's really ahead, then all right. But I'll take the better bet,
which would be Mac Jones. Yeah, I mean, I think Kyle Trask though is gonna. I mean, dude, if he plays really good these next few games, and if they beat Bama in the SEC championship, that's gonna be hard to say. So we'll see what happens. We'll keep you all updated there. I want to get into a few last teams here, and then let's move on. Right, so Cincinnati. Number 7, what do you think? No shot, right? I don't think I think the best thing Cincinnati could have done for their case is to play BYU this weekend with an open date, but they let BYU go off and play Coastal Carolina. Cute story. BYU should blow them out. Yeah. Regardless, what I'll say is it's tough, right? Because Coastal is like the Cinderella story. If you will.
People like Coastal too, dude. I feel like everyone.
They're like the Cinderella story, they were ranked. They were set to be dead last in the Sun Belt before the start of the season.
They've had good programs. I'm more of a college basketball guy. Myles will cover you for college football as this podcast goes along. You'll learn that for sure. And in college basketball, Coastal Carolina is like usually pretty good. They'll make the tournament.
Yeah, they're JMU's conference. Right?
Yeah. Are they?
No, they're not. No, that's UNCW. I used to get them mixed up for no reason.
Shout
it's
out
the colors.
Colonial though. CAA baby. It used to be nice, dude. The Colonial used to have like VCU, George.
ODU.
Did they still have George Mason? I think.
No, George Mason is like
dude.
I don't remember what conference.
The Colonial used to have like 3 tournament teams in college basketball per year. It was like.
So look, Cincinnati not going to get the respect they deserve. Them not playing BYU just told me essentially, we're content with the New Year's 6 bowl game as the best Group of 5 team. I think that's BS, right? Because the goal of your program should be to vie to play national championships. And you just essentially wussed out and said, I'm a huge pussy. Yeah. Georgia started to look like they found their quarterback in JT Daniels. He's looking good over there at UGA. I don't think, obviously, they are a playoff team. Iowa State looking good as well. Miami not getting a lot of credit for what they've been doing. Only 1 loss on the season.
I'll get behind Miami.
To Clemson. They're not going to be a playoff team, obviously, no matter what chaos happens.
I'm behind them.
Yeah. There's a lot of people in Miami that you'd probably get behind. Oklahoma, right? Obviously biased here. I think there's a shot that we could try to do it. I'm not gonna gonna go in on all this.
Rattler's a
for
beast.
the, he's
you
a beast,
guys got
dude.
Rattler. He'll be a top ladder.
Yeah, Rattler's a beast, dude. Rattler's a beast, dude. Caleb Williams, watch out for him too if you know anything about him. Number 1 overall quarterback in the
Is he their backup?
No.
Oh,
He's
quarterback.
Quarterback. He's coming in this year, early enrolled, right?
Bro.
So Rattler's a redshirt freshman right now. Caleb Williams will be a true freshman when he gets on campus next year. He's already up there in Norman. He's from
Lincoln Riley, dude.
He's
what
from
is he doing?
He's from DC actually.
Really?
The kid went to school over here in Gonzaga. I never got a chance to see him play, but he is the real deal, dude. When I tell you, he's doing a lot of good recruiting efforts for the Sooners too. So,
all
right, lots of good quarterbacks coming into Norman, Oklahoma. So I'm excited about the future. And honestly, I'll take a take here, biased again, of course. I think Oklahoma wins a championship in the next 3 years. If you don't like what I said, you should follow, and subscribe.
I'll give it to you. Lincoln Riley could do it.
Honestly. Go, dude.
But all right, so are you good on your college football spiel? Can we move on to the real big boys of the sport?
We can go to the elite players at the next level. I'll save the coaching carousel conversation for a little
conversation. I'm sure the viewers are going to want to
No, I think let's do it. Let's do a separate episode for that. I think we should do coaching carousel. We can do a 20-minute episode. We can talk when the season really starts to wind down.
Cool. So stay tuned for that episode if you guys are big coaching fans.
Coaching. That's a big thing that happens in college football, man.
In college,
recruiting is everything.
Coaching is different in college. It is. Like I just said, Lincoln Riley just pulling quarterbacks out of his ass, literally.
So let's go to fantasy football.
Well, let's just talk NFL first, and then we'll get into fantasy because you guys you'll want to hear about my fantasy team. Trust me. But we'll get into NFL first. Get kind of the storylines out of the way. Let's just really quickly. I mean, people have heard enough about it, I'm sure, but we'll touch on it real quick. COVID-19 in the NFL. So we know what's going on right now with COVID. Obviously, it's completely mushed around the season.
Yeah.
We all get that. I don't need to tell you guys again about it. It's been rough. All right. But what happened last week was actually kind of crazy to me because we basically saw the Broncos go out there with a literal junior varsity team. Like, I know Mike Tomlin joked about the Steelers being a junior varsity team on Wednesday Night Football or Wednesday afternoon football the other day. But the Broncos were literally a junior varsity team. Like, I mean, I don't even remember the kid's name who was at quarterback for them.
Yeah, I don't remember
either. But unfortunately for you, brother, it's a little bit irrelevant. I think that decision by the NFL to make the Broncos have to play that game, I know you have a difference of opinion on it, so I want to let the viewers hear it, but I think that the NFL basically said, we're going to make an example out of you, Denver, because you did not follow our rules. Like, Drew Lock came out and had this huge apology, like, that he basically beat around the bush of him going out without a mask. That's what he did.
Yeah.
And he got his team infected. And I honestly don't have any problem with the NFL making the Broncos go out there and look like a shit show. I had the Saints D in fantasy, and it was awesome to watch them get more interceptions than completions given up. And I had no problem with it. I honestly think the NFL had to do that because teams have to realize that this isn't a joke. And if you mess around with the rules, like, you get killed in any job. You get.
No, I agree, but I just think it's difficult, right? Because it's really difficult. These kids, I'll say, right? Drew Lock is no older than us, 23 years old, 22 years old, right? Yeah, we make mistakes, dude. We make mistakes. Half of our friends, hell, even us, still go out sometimes, right? I'm not gonna even hold you there. What I'll say though is I think it's just the way that they did Baltimore and Pittsburgh in the same game was a disservice, right? Baltimore, obviously got Seist, and then the Steelers kind of got fucked, right?
The Ravens still didn't have Lamar.
Yeah, well, that's fair, but we knew with Lamar without who was going to win that game. But I don't. Well, yeah, okay.
Hot take.
To go. I think the Steelers would have played up to Lamar. I think the game is drastically different when you play.
We'll move out of the game conversation. I think Lamar's there and they win. Honestly, I do. I think the Steelers are. We can talk about the Steelers. I don't think the Steelers are that good.
I'm not saying that they are, but there's nothing that the Lamar Jackson-led Ravens of this season have shown me that leads me to believe that if he was there, the outcome would have been different.
Fine, fair.
What I'll say though is, I think I think the league definitely was doing that in spite of Denver, right? To make a point, like you're saying, in a sense, but I just also don't think it was the right call. Okay. I think, it's difficult, right? It's a lot of stuff going on right now, but I just don't think it was fair, and I really feel bad for that kid that went out there and got.
I made fun of it, but I do actually it is kind of
that takes balls, bro. That takes big balls, dude. I mean,
I'm not gonna say it takes balls,
bro. He's not a quarterback. I mean, he played a few snaps in college at quarterback. He was a wide receiver in a practice squad. Right. Got elevated to literally play quarterback. No preparation, no training for that's nuts. Versus the Saints.
But your coach tells you you're an NFL player. Yo, you're about to play quarterback. What are you gonna say? No.
I mean, you have to say yes because you have to do what's right for your team. But bro, it's not like it's no one's ideal situation.
No, it's not ideal. But it's
like
not
at all. It's not like he was like a. It's not like he was like a Tebow,
No, he was a nobody. Yeah.
Exactly. Like he was like it wasn't some guy that they just picked up and threw him and go Dukes, right? It wasn't someone they just picked up and were like, okay, like let's try you out at this position. Yeah. It was like you've thrown the ball a few times, like you can probably hold laces better than anyone else on the team. I even think they started that game
with Royce Freeman.
No, they started with Philip Lindsay in Wildcat.
Which is it was.
Philip Lindsay is all of 5'9".
Yeah, Royce Freeman is like their emergency QB. I remember watching that game and I was like, unbelievable.
Emergency QB.
It was unreal. And the Saints have players on D too, like Cameron Jordan. Now that kid got thrown into the fire.
That's what I'm saying.
That kid got thrown into the fire. Let's be real about it. But
I feel bad for that man's family.
Yeah, not as bad as Nate Robinson's family, but
yeah. Oh my gosh.
Maybe that's another.
No, we don't even need to. We need to know though. We need to know if that's going to be a rematch. Does Nate Robinson get a trainer? Does Nate Robinson do it for the black community and say? Does Nate Robinson say? For the black community, I have to beat Jake Paul's ass because I got embarrassed.
Nate Robinson's
kids,
Nate Robinson's kids,
hit
him up and were like, "We don't want you to fight for us anymore." Based on that,
dudes on Twitter.
Roasted
traded Nate Robinson for Jake Paul to the black community, bro.
Stop it.
Bro, dude said, and I quote, in the first round of the black community draft, we'd like to trade Nate Robinson for Jake Paul.
All right. You guys can go on Twitter and check out all those memes. We're not going to talk about this anymore. That's it.
I don't mean to make it racial or anything. I just thought that was hilarious, right?
Dude,
so
we're good.
We're chilling.
We're covering both sides.
Yeah,
we're good.
Absolutely. All right. So
we got off track a little bit.
So back to where we were, right? I think the Broncos kind of got dicked a little bit. You don't think they did?
I think they made an example out of them. That was all it was.
Okay, so let's go into the Wonder Division, the greatest story of the season.
So let's go from infection to literal another infection that is the NFC East, an absolute disease of a division. But you know what? That's my division, baby. That is my division. Let's go, Giants. And I'll tell you right now, if we're going to talk about the NFC East, you can't not talk about the Giants being the best team. Now.
That's cap.
Right now, dude. Right now. We talked about this before we did this podcast. I would say, without a doubt, the Giants have the best defense in the division.
I'm speechless.
You're not. You just as he speaks.
This is cap.
Who's the best cornerback in the division? James Bradbury. Who's the best coach in the division right now? And you cannot tell me Doug Peterson after that.
Why would I ever say Doug Peterson?
All right, thank you. Ron Rivera.
It's not Mike McCarthy.
It's definitely not. Mike McCarthy's the worst. Ron Rivera's close, right? But to me, I don't think Ron Rivera has meshed with the
I agree,
football
dude.
team right now.
I agree. I
love Joe Judge, dude.
I think Joe Judge is the best coach in the division. I think the best cornerback is James Bradbury, like you're saying. But I think Washington, and I hate to say this as well. I just hate this division. My team has lost no less than 3 Super Bowls in the last.
My team, big Pats fan.
Last 10 years.
Nice kid, way to be.
Because of
who'd they lose to? Who'd they lose to twice? Yo, wait a minute. This division, baby. Let's go.
Whatever. So moving on, right? We lost to Eli Manning. We didn't lose to the Giants. Which is
even worse. That's worse. What the heck are you saying?
It's even worse. I know.
You guys heard that.
It's even worse. Regardless, right? So let me get into this, right? Washington has some young studs, dude.
No, we talked about Chase Young. Yeah, Chase Young is probably the best young line.
Terry McLaurin
Right.
is a beast. Antonio Gibson is a beast. I mean,
no, he is.
He's
Jimmy Moreland, another Duke,
Jimmy
Duke.
Moreland,
baby.
roll Dukes, baby.
Let's go.
Roll Dukes.
He's actually been all right.
Yeah, no, he's starting, I think. Or
I think he's the slot corner, but I
Yeah.
mean that's a starter these days. Like everyone has 3 wide receivers out there. Yeah, and he's had. I think he picked off. Didn't he intercept like somebody good? Yo, like Drew Brees or something. It's somebody good. I swear to God, Drew Mullen had a nice pick.
Don't know.
But nah. So here's my thing. The NFC East is literally the NFC East, the NFC least. All right, they're gonna get a home playoff game. And I don't think the Giants are going to win that home playoff game if they were to get it. But I definitely want to see my team in the playoffs. Like, let's be real. I'm down to watch them, like, whatever it is. Now that Danny Dimes is hurt, that's going to be tough. They're going to get crushed by Seattle this weekend. But honestly, Danny Dimes or not, they would have gotten absolutely, like, murdered by the Seahawks. So I don't even really care so much about that. But I do think that it is going to be tough because the Giants' schedule's a little rough. They got the Seahawks. They got the Cardinals in there. They have the Cowboys one more time, so they'll have to win that game. They have the Browns, which I do think they can win, and the Ravens, which, again, I think they could win. But they could be 1-4 in that stretch and then go 5-11. But that could be one game out of the division. Like, I do think the winner might be
Cowboys. The way I see it is you guys only beat the Cowboys out of those last few games.
I think they could beat the Browns or the Ravens. I really do. One of the two. And if they win one of those two, they probably would win the division.
The Browns at home, which I don't think really matters this year, but the Browns are at home. I think the Ravens
they can win, dude.
I think the Ravens like really are trying to get in the playoffs, and I think they're still in the hunt, and I think
they're gonna have a tough time.
I think though that they will. I mean, let's see. Let's break it down.
They got the Dolphins are better than them. The Browns are better than them, and the Raiders are better than them.
If you think that the Giants are gonna, okay, I digress. Let me go to Washington. Let's talk about Washington, right? Washington arguably has an equally tougher schedule, or equally as tough schedule as you all, right? So we know Monday they play the Steelers. Then they go into short rest and play the 49ers in San Francisco. So they're traveling on Sunday.
Oh, okay.
But still short rest because of Monday game. And they're traveling across the states, right? So honestly, I'm eager to see what the line looks like there.
Off that leg, bro.
Seahawks back in Washington, right? So 7 days there, Sunday to Sunday, back in Washington, 1:00 game. Might want to bet Washington, honestly. The teams that travel from west to east for 1:00 games sometimes don't
What's
cover.
the line on it? Do you know?
I mean, that's 2 weeks out, so we'll have to see.
Yeah, I guess we'll
keep you updated on that one. But let's look. So that I'll include that as a toss up, and that sounds weird, but I think Steelers, 49ers, L's, Panthers, good game. Panthers probably win. Eagles, division game. Washington is the better team. So arguably, I think Washington has a chance at. I think they win one, and I think they have a chance at one. With the Seahawks traveling, I think the Giants. I mean,
I'm not going to give it. I'm not giving them the Seahawks. I think the
we'll
Seahawks
see.
are going to go undefeated for the rest of the way.
Last time the Seahawks traveled was to the Bills, and they did not play well.
They got rocked.
They did, and honestly, but the Bills are a good team. The Bills are a good
that
team
was the
as well.
Seahawks' worst game of the year, though. That was.
So we'll see how that division unfolds, but right now it's looking like 4-7. 2 4-7 teams, Giants and the football team, both on win streaks greater than 2, with the Giants winning that tiebreaker.
Yeah, the Giants beat them twice. So I don't know. We'll see by the NFC East, but in the grand scheme of things, it really won't matter. That's just my team. Had to get that out there.
So let me ask you this. Let's segue into this then. If the Giants win the division and they go in and they have a home playoff game, which is nuts, who is your locks to play on both sides of the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Who's your NFC pick and who's your
I
AFC?
wanted to get this in real quick, so I'm glad we're going to get this in before we get to fantasy football here. But I will keep it short and simple for you. Seahawks, Chiefs. Chiefs win. I do think the Seahawks, the Chiefs, I think, are an absolute lock. If you look at the AFC, actually, I said this before, I think the Patriots are a bit fraudulent. Or, I'm sorry, the Steelers are a bit fraudulent. The Patriots are not even involved. I don't even know why I mentioned them. My bad, guys. But Steelers, Raiders, I don't really like what I'm seeing from the Browns long term. I don't think it's going to last. I got the running game, but I don't think Baker's it. Dolphins, if they make it, could probably win a game. That's about it. Bills, same thing. I think they could maybe win a game, and that's about it. I don't see any team making a run in the AFC, so I think Chiefs are a lock. NFC is definitely tough. I like Seattle because I think Russell Wilson is the best quarterback in the conference.
Yeah.
But their defense is trash. So like if they can't figure that out, I don't know.
It's crazy how he has not won an MVP. Russell Wilson
hasn't even gotten his first place vote ever.
Yeah.
I think he'll definitely get first place votes this time. But
I hope he wins it. Before the season started, my picks to play, and it's just funny, right on par what you said. It was Russell Wilson MVP. I had Lamar going back as OPOI, right? But obviously not working out. I think I had Seahawks Chiefs matchup, but I've actually steered away. I don't think that I'm gonna see the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. I
like the Saints. I do like the Saints.
So look, let me just throw out some odds for you. Chiefs to win the Super Bowl.
225
plus 225 is what I'm seeing. That's
a tough bet to make.
I mean 100 to win 225 on the Chiefs.
Right, but you're betting against 31. You're betting against the rest of the playoff teams.
Yeah.
I mean, essentially to me, that's the thing is you're betting on the Chiefs, but to make the Super Bowl, that's the easier bet, which is obviously less odds, but like. You have a lot of NFC teams that can come into the Super Bowl and I think can beat the Chiefs, and that's where I do think they make the Super Bowl. And I think once you get to the Super Bowl, I really do think they'll meet it.
Yeah,
they'll meet another Goliath. It'll be a little bit tougher for them.
I think the 49ers definitely gave a good blueprint of shutting down Mahomes last year early on, but obviously Andy Reid was able to adjust at halftime and overcome. What I will say is I think for me, I have the Chiefs going out of the AFC. And then
obviously
out of the NFC, I'm going to go with the Packers. Bold take, right?
Oh, man. They are just not able to play enough smash mouth for me. They have no type of, inside linebacker, defensive tackle.
Yeah. I agree.
They have no mojo there.
I agree, but I don't know. Something just feels up to me where I just feel like Aaron Rodgers just wants it this year. And I feel like, if they can stay, if they can stay healthy, I mean, what better FU to management would be we drafted a first round pick. We could have got. I don't buy into the.
No, I think management was just drunk.
Yeah,
It was like hammered at the draft.
It was like the Knicks draft when you drafted Frank into Kalina or however you.
We don't need to talk about the
regardless.
Knicks. We'll get to the Knicks next podcast if y'all want, but I don't want.
What I'm getting at is this, right? I really do think, for some reason, that the Packers can go on to the Super Bowl. I don't know if they're going to win, but I don't know what a bigger FU is. And then, look, I don't buy into the whole Aaron Rodgers has never had a weapon. Aaron Rodgers needs more weapons.
I buy into it a bit.
I really don't.
Especially on D. You're talking weapons, but his defense has never been the same.
I'm talking offense.
Fair enough, but I think it's weak right now.
But what I'm saying is, I think provided everyone is healthy, they can definitely make a playoff run. The experience is there. I think Aaron Rodgers can do it. I think he wants to do it one more time. But what I will say is, man, what bigger FU to GM would it be to say, I drafted a quarterback in the first round to replace you eventually, right? Maybe not right now, in a few years. To say, no, bitch, I'm still here. I'm fucking taking it to a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's just me. I don't know. I think the motivation is there. I think they just need to be
I'm down
healthy.
for it. Dude, and I'm down. I mean, and then at that point, you get Pat Mahomes versus Aaron Rodgers in the Super Bowl.
This would be electric.
Awesome. Yeah, that'd be dope.
Which Green Bay Packers odds plus 800. So if you're feeling risky,
so kind of a good bet. Honestly, I'm not going to lie. That's not a bad bet. I just think with Devontae Adams and nobody else, it's going to be tough. But no, Aaron Rodgers versus Pat Mahomes, I'd love to see it. So, yeah, all right. That's our Super Bowl predictions. Take them as you will. But from here, we'll do you guys a favor and move into fantasy because I know everyone loves it. I especially do this year with my Russ Lock squad of the decade. All right. Do you guys want to peep? Check out Russ Lock on Twitter. OTD Skull is the @. There's a lot on there, a lot of emojis. Let me be real with you. But it is an absolute spectacle what my team has done this year in terms of fantasy production. So Russ Lock is the name of my team. I've drafted Russell Wilson and Tyler Lockett for 3 years in a row now. At least 3 for Russ. I think maybe 2 for Lockett. And it's just kind of it worked out again. I had the 4th pick in the draft, and it sort of fell to me in a way where I had Russell Wilson available for me in the 5th round after I just had gotten Lockett in the 4th. So that was dope. But with the 4th pick, I also lucked out because Saquon Barkley, Christian McCaffrey, and Ezekiel Elliott have all been hurt or busts, and I got Kamara to fall to me. That was awesome. Scooped up OBJ. I know you did that too. He's out for the year. Tough, but we didn't really need him because I also got Deontay Johnson. I got Sterling Shepard, who's been awesome, and I have Rojo's my running back too. Not the best, so I was able to pick up Myles Gaskin, and then he got hurt. So I've been a little bit screwed at running back. Nonetheless, my team is literally steamrolling guys that I'm playing because of Travis Kelce, baby. That was the difference maker pick in my draft because tight ends have been a wasteland this year. You got Kittle hurt. Mark Andrews hasn't been the same. Darren Waller's still pretty good, but he's still about 50 points behind Kelce. Kelce's got wide receiver 1 numbers. It's absolutely unreal. And my team is 10-2. So I'm looking at the first seed in my playoffs. Like I said, you can check every score that I've ever had against everyone I've played this year on Russlock Twitter at OTD Skull. No one's going to look. Let's be real. But I am the best team in my division. I'm the best team in my league right now. I'm looking at a top seed in the playoffs, and I am very excited going forward to see what happens. I hope I get Myles Gaskin back soon, and I hope Kamara starts playing a little bit better.
University of Washington star right there. Yeah,
I love it. But how are you? How is your team doing?
Yeah, I'm also top team in my league, 9-3. Took a loss this past weekend. Kyler Murray struggled a bit. He's my quarterback, so we got Kyler.
Great pick, though. Great pick.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I love Kyler Murray. I got Kyler. I got Devontae Adams, Dalvin Cook. I had George Kittle to start the season. Now I'm on Hayden Hurst, I think his name is. Yeah,
Atlanta.
I don't even.
He's been up and down.
Actually, I don't even think I have him. I think I have a guy on the. Yeah, maybe it is Hayden Hurst. I don't know. I could care less because he's just up and down.
Yeah.
Justin Tucker as the kicker, Indy defense.
Young Wei Koo is my kicker, bro.
Yeah,
he's a beast, bro.
Migos needs to really get him on the track.
Exactly what he said.
Perfect timing. Cool. Migos. Young Wei Koo.
Wow, that was awkward. All right, we'll cut that.
No, we got to keep that. Regardless, look, though, I think Migos, bro, and Young Wei Koo in Atlanta, like Migos has to body him on the track. Regardless, back to the thing here. I don't have it pulled up, but fantasy team has been just outright dogging everyone. I've been just blowing kids out. It's not even fun. I took 3 losses, 2 of them to the same person, which kind of sucks because one of them, my team was hurt for a lot of it, and I lost by like 2 points. Another one was just like one of those losses you take, and then this week I lost to the kid I lost to, and my team was hurt again. Kyler struggled.
Kyler's been a little bit banged up here.
People just haven't really played the games they needed to play for me. But I will say this, we're still looking good, and I would rather take the loss before the playoffs.
Get him out the way. That's what I said, bro. I've been taking some losses now, too. I literally was 10-1. I got blown out last week because the kid I was playing at Gibson, Fuller, all those guys, so I got blown out. Let's get him out of the way now. But no, honestly, we both have good fantasy teams, so what do you think the difference was?
He's not getting 10, dude. Nah.
It was your idea.
Just inch that water over there.
Even 5 are not many.
Quicker.
Dude, no.
Quicker.
Right here.
Is it? Like fucking taking the song and flicking it in his hand. It's
640.
He wants it to be 10 minutes. He just wants to stop.
No, I'm trying. I'm definitely giving it my best effort right now.
In drafting your fantasy team and then looking back at it, what is like your advantages? Because for me, definitely Travis Kelce. Like he's been tight end 1, wide receiver 1, and then also getting a running back early, a really good running back that worked out. I think that's the 2 biggest reasons why my team is so good.
Yeah. I got Dalvin Cook with I think the 4th pick. I got Devontae Adams the next round, and then I got. I'm blanking on who I drafted in what order, but I drafted those 2 guys first. I think I got someone else, another receiver.
Someone else.
Someone else.
Definitely should get someone else.
I definitely got Kyler in like round 4, which might be too early, but
it worked out. It did work out.
He was balling for a lot of the year, and like in all honesty, like
he'll pick it up. You'll be fine.
In all honesty, when Kyler has he pretty much plays running back and quarterback.
So like rushing touchdowns.
Yeah. So when he literally goes off in a game and drops 40 points, I'm like, worth it. 4th round pick, I'm down.
Would have been dope if you got Hop.
Yeah, Hop would have been sick. I got George Kittle. I think the round after I got Kyler.
See, that's a good pick. You kind of just got screwed. Like,
The game before he got hurt, he dropped 40
Yeah,
points.
that would be.
He was
like,
going off.
If you had that now, like, you'd be so straight.
Yeah. So I don't know. Obviously the clear strategy is to go running back first, or top receiver. I think I drafted Odell and I think I drafted Odell actually as my.
That was maybe your third pick.
Third
right?
pick. Yeah,
you couldn't think of. So that was somebody else.
Yeah.
Guy.
So another.
Screw him.
Well,
no, I loved watching Odell. I was honestly really upset.
Yeah, honestly, he didn't get as many targets as I would have liked to see.
Of course not.
And,
I just
he's wide receiver 1. Calvin Ridley was also another good pick for me who balls out. He's been hurt. So, the early struggles, but as the season goes on, hopefully they do a little better, keep healthy.
Yeah, we will keep you guys posted. Like I said, Russlock Twitter at OTD Skull if you want to see it every day.
Follow the Twitter though, also OTD Pod.
Yeah, follow our podcast Twitter, follow our Instagram. We'll probably have this up on TikTok.
We'll give you all this stuff.
Give it all to you at the end.
Later,
But we won't give you the Russlock Twitter, so you got to remember that now. No, don't actually look at it. Honestly, it's kind of a cringe. Anyway. No, so yeah, that's the fantasy spiel right here. We'll take you guys out of the fantasy realm for our very final and most important segment of this episode, and that is our gambling locks of the weekend. So I'm going to give it off to Myles for your college football locks. I'll handle the NFL side of things because Kid doesn't know what he's talking about, but I don't know what I'm talking about for college football, so go right ahead, my friend.
Yeah. So on my card, I played the big one of the week, Friday night.
What's your lock? Give me
my
your
lock.
first.
I'm going University of Louisiana Lafayette over App State. App State hasn't lost to ULL in about 10 years, but it's 2020. I'm going to trust the chaos. Louisiana is the better team. Got the win over Iowa State, top 10 team. Early in the season, first week, Louisiana Lafayette, still a ranked team. I'm going Louisiana Lafayette to, you can lay the points. I threw it money line at plus 130, so I got
It's a good bet.
Louisiana Lafayette.
You hear plus, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Straight
Louisiana Lafayette winning outright. I got Auburn under 48.5. I think Texas A&M offense looked very underwhelming. Obviously, minus 110. I think Texas A&M offense looked very underwhelming last week versus LSU, a very bad LSU team. Texas A&M,
seriously.
yeah.
Bad, dude.
Texas A&M is very inconsistent. Great coach in Jimbo Fisher. Obviously, mad respect there. National title winning coach. But
good guy.
The thing is Kellen Mond is Mr. Inconsistent. Auburn and A&M last 10 meetings, I believe 8 of them have gone under. Last few for Auburn have gone under as well. And crazy things happen in Jordan Hare, and I actually recommend taking Auburn with the points at 6.5 as well, because I think Auburn outright wins this game as well, knocking Texas A&M out of the college football playoff contention with losses to Bama and Auburn. And then I'm going to go to Oklahoma State, so I rarely ever bet on OK State as a Sooners fan. But when money is there,
that's a rough one for you. Bro.
When money is there, you take it. And honestly, right now I'm rooting for Oklahoma State to win because it helps Oklahoma's losses look. The Oklahoma won, but it helps Oklahoma's wins look better, if that makes sense.
No, that does.
So the more Oklahoma State keeps winning, the better we look as well. So I've got Oklahoma State over TCU. Money line minus 115 is what I'm finding that. You got any college locks, or do you want to just move on?
I don't have jack shit for college, so that's all you, brother.
Okay.
If you got any NFL ones, get them in now, because I'm the one who's going to show everyone the locks, so we can get in the little, your little side bets.
All right, well, whatever, bud. We're gonna go 3-0 on college locks this week, so I'm with that. Let's go to NFL locks. I'm going Bills.
I like the Bills. That's the Monday night.
Let me pull up my.
No, the Bills are actually. So you're gonna segue right into one of my locks for sure. So right now, if you can get this bet in, the Niners are favored by 1. I don't understand that at all.
It doesn't make sense.
You gotta send the Bills.
But is Vegas telling us something? The last time that Vegas quote unquote told me something was Miami Virginia Tech, with Miami getting being a 2.5 point road dog. versus a worse Virginia Tech team, and they ended up winning outright. So I was actually very mad. That
Vegas is always trying to tell you something, I swear. But that I can't imagine that line will stick. I think the Bills will be favored by 1 by the time we get to that game.
Yeah, so let me see what I can find right here. I've got the odds pulled up. Monday night game, 8:15. I've got Bills plus 1.5 right now.
Yeah, no, that's
a
that's
lock.
what it's at right now. That's got to be a lock. I mean, I would send money line, honestly. Like, send plus whatever it is, plus 130 or whatever.
Money line, I can get you, let's see.
Plus 110 maybe?
Money line is probably going to be plus 115.
Yeah.
I can get you money line. I can get you, let me pull this up here.
See, I love those kind of bets. I mean, if we're picking, so...
I can get you plus 105.
Yeah, I would take that, man. I really would. I would take that, no doubt. I mean, personally, when I send out my bets, I hate to send out a Monday night game on Sunday because, I don't know, I hate waiting. I hate waiting for that. I love to get my money in at the end of Sunday, call it a day. But, no, I love that one for sure. That's definitely on my list. I'll tell you right now, I don't see why people are betting the Falcons in this Falcons-Saints game. Because I think the Saints are an absolute lock in that game, dude. The Falcons are always good to come off a high 40-point win against a good Raiders team to just lay flat. I honestly think the Saints win by 21 points. I would take easily, no doubt, Saints -3, but I would even tease it up if I could to minus like 6.5.
I like it, but I really do think that the Falcons are due for their annual win over the Saints. I'm not playing this game. I'm staying away. But if Julio plays, I think Atlanta covers here. Falcons defense, really good against the run, can do better against the Saints offense.
Really good?
I mean, they're 6th in run defense in the league.
Okay.
Taysom
I
Hill,
want to recheck.
Taysom Hill is going to be playing...
Running up their throat, dude.
No. Well, Taysom Hill is going to have to beat them with his arms. I don't trust him to do that.
I wouldn't either. You won't have to.
Okay. Regardless, whatever. We'll come to that. I'm not playing this game, like I said.
No.
But Falcons +3 is my lean there.
Wow. All right. Now, so
I've got 2 more of mine. What do you got?
I got one that I don't necessarily love, but I would. So I know you like this one, and I'm going to give you a little bit of support. I thought it over. If you take Jets +8, I'm not going to hate you for it because I do think the Jets are going to lose. I would love if it was like 10.5. Honestly, I'm going to stay away, but I don't hate the pick. I've heard a lot about it, and at first I hated it. Trust me, when I first read it. But I mean, I don't know. The Jets might win a game here. Like, let's be real. Like, can you guys get one? Like,
I really think they can win this game outright. I don't think they will. The 12th game. The 12th game is always weird. Like, think last season, Cincinnati 0-11, 12th game won.
I didn't even remember that.
It's hard, right? Vegas might not have Josh Jacobs. 8.5 points is a lot.
They're not going to have Josh Jacobs. He's out.
Even better. I'll take 8.5.
Yeah.
I think it's on my card. Last season they won 34-3, right? The Jets.
Did the Jets win 34-3?
Yeah, dude. There's nothing that can convince me that taking the Jets here isn't the play.
They are the Jets. I mean, that could convince you.
And the Raiders got smacked by the Falcons last week, so they have to come back all the way to the East Coast to New York for a 1:00 game, right? So you know how I am on these 1:00 games for traveling teams. Josh Jacobs is out. Cold game.
They got run. Booker's not bad for the Raiders. I don't know. Josh Jacobs on my fantasy team. One of them, my other fantasy team.
I really think Jets +8.5 is the play. And honestly, let me look and see if I can get you anything else here.
I like that play.
I just want to see the best odds for the peoples here. Jets +8.5 is the best I can get you all.
Yeah.
So lock up Jets +8.5.
All right, that's not my upset pick. If I had to go with an upset pick, I like the Cardinals over the Rams. It's +2.5 right now. I would probably not have any problem setting that money line. So I'll take that as my upset pick. Cardinals over Rams.
I can get you +3.
Fair enough, bro. This kid's got me, yo.
Take the hook, man. Yeah. I think Cardinals can win that game outright as well.
I would take it money line if I was betting it. I'm actually staying away though. I have a really, really conservative parlay going. I have like Dolphins winning, Vikings winning. I guarantee the Vikings lose though. all money line, dude. It's ridiculous. Like,
Gotcha.
just $20 to win 100 on, like, 5 of the easiest games.
Yeah.
But no, I would like, if I might send another one before these games start, I'll probably take Cardinals money line, honestly.
What
I'll
else?
have no
What else do
problem
you
with
like? Anything else on your card?
I would stay the hell away. I'll give you one that I would stay away from. I would stay so far away from Colts Texans. I think
That's not even close to my card.
it's just keep it out, dude, because I honestly do think the Texans could just run it even without Fuller. Like,
I like the
'cause
under, but I'm not playing the game.
The easiest bet would be the Colts, right? The Texans lost Fuller, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I would stay away. I think Deshaun Watson could just run it up on Phillip
Mm-hmm.
Rivers. So that's my game where I would just don't even bet it.
Yeah, I had Chargers Pats on my card for the Chargers, but I don't know. That one is kind of close.
Again, a
too
tough
close
one
for
to
me.
bet. A tough one to bet. I would take the Patriots, but
Yeah. I am going to take Pittsburgh -7 at home versus a Washington team off of a big
that's
win
another
against
Monday
the
night game.
Cowboys.
Yeah, there's 2 Monday night games on my birthday.
Yeah.
That's so nice.
Too. And so I'm taking both, Pittsburgh -7, Buffalo +1. I also think another good pick is Tennessee -5.5 at home, laying the points against Cleveland. So that's my last lock of the week for NFL. I mean, Derrick Henry on a roll right now. Cleveland
always.
8-3, but has been outscored by multiple teams this season that they've lost to. They beat bad teams by only a little bit of points. Like the Browns, they're good, but they're not great.
No, yeah.
Right? So I'm rocking on Cleveland. I think the public is also rocking with Tennessee as well. So I don't know. Maybe I won't bet it if the public's rocking with Tennessee.
Screw the public. But all right. And I'll leave you guys a last little tidbit. There's a Tuesday game scheduled for this week. It's Cowboys Ravens because everything got moved around with the Ravens. I don't know if it'll hold, but I'm pretty sure right now there's a chance that Lamar Jackson is going to be out again. You heard it here first.
I'm never betting the Cowboys
But
in any game ever
if
again.
Just wait on that. The
Trace
Ravens right now
McSorley-
7.5. I would take Cowboys plus 7.5 if Lamar isn't playing, though, right?
I will no.
If Lamar is not playing, you would take the Ravens?
No. I'm not taking anybody. The Cowboys lost
Trace
all.
McSorley.
I literally.
Trace McSorley.
You know how much money I lost on the Cowboys on Thanksgiving?
You can make it all back.
No.
All right.
I
If
cannot
Lamar
that is
Jackson is not playing, if you don't send Ravens
Look.
right now for
Look.
7.5, I'm sorry, Cowboys 7.5, you're wrong.
I'm not trying to play 2 shitty teams, and I'm going to leave it at that.
Then why you
So we've got our locks in. Hopefully that wins you all some money.
send them, bro?
What I will say
I'm
is
hot right now. My locks are locks.
What
My
I-
locks are locks.
What I will say is that we enjoyed having you all listen in. So we're gonna drop some episodes, quite a bit. Quite frequently, a few a week at least is the plan. College football, NBA basketball, college basketball, NFL football.
Yeah.
Reactions to big things happening and things like that around the sports landscape.
Yep.
We can even, once the seasons come around, maybe even dabble into some hockey, dabble into some soccer.
Yeah,
and some other stuff.
we're up for whatever. I
Yeah.
mean, right now we're gonna try to keep this to a 2 per week thing. Miles, like I said, is the big college football guy. You guys will hear my college basketball takes on our next podcast. What we'll do here for you guys is we'll try to keep a Friday podcast strictly to football, Friday night football. Miles
I
will run
really
it.
think we should move it to Thursday. We'll talk about this later.
We'll talk about it, but it's a little bit hard for us to figure out the logistics of it with COVID and stuff. I live in New Jersey. Came to visit my man just to get our first one going, but yeah, we'll have a football podcast for you, college, NFL. We'll have a basketball podcast for you, college, NBA, and if we ever see fit, we'll put in baseball. We'll put in hockey.
Yeah,
but
we'll dabble.
we'll dabble. But we'll keep it to football and basketball for now. Off the Dome Pod.
Yeah, so
Other
follow
vibes.
us. Follow us on all of our social. We just created some accounts for the podcast so you can stay up to date with us. You can follow us at OTD_pod on Twitter and Instagram as well as TikTok. Same thing, so OTD_pod.
Yep.
You can follow him at OTD_skull, and you can follow me at Myles397. You all have a great day, and let's get some bread on these locks, baby.
You know the vibes.